Hello there, welcome to yet another live stream. Today we are going to do a slightly different one. Okay, well, let me change here really quickly the music because it's too low. Okay, that's more like it. Hey there, how are you? Yeah, it's nice. I'm good as well, thank you. So, the thing is today, I'm going to try out something slightly different than usual. I'm going to work here on some different. Oh really? Jesus, that's nice. So I'm going to try out some different style of sketching. And my point will be, let me change here. So you see like this type of stuff, like this is like flat, this is called, let me just bring this up a little bit more. This thing, usually this style is usually done in Illustrator or any type of vector program. Okay, no problem. Feel free to leave when you have to. Okay. But yeah, so my point here is I'm trying out a different approach. Going here. Hey there, Marinez. Or Emily, I don't know. I'm trying out here a different approach on my sketching. Something similar, not similar, but something close to this kind of stuff, okay? Like this thing. Usually this type of stuff is done in Illustrator, okay? Due to its like really clean edges and like minimal fillings and whatnot, you know. But I'll try today to bring this to my sketching, you know, to my urban sketching, just to try it out, just to see how it would like turn out, something that it's mostly used on a digital end, how it would like be in a more artisan way, let's say. In a more manual way. You know, like this type of stuff, right? Actually, yesterday I already did some tests here, you know. I already did here a couple of tests using acrylic markers, using watercolor markers, you know. And these two were using a reference, and it was like, oops, too large. Let me just scale this down. Was using this specific reference. Okay, it was a photo I took in Nazaré. And my point here will be to try to translate this into a scene, you know, basically, with like a minimal stuff, trying to simplify a lot most of these details, even though it's not a really complex scene, because it's a fairly simple one, you know. You just have like the boats, the sand, the peninsula behind, the sea, the sky, so there's nothing that there's not like a overcrowded photo here. However, my point here will be like to try to simplify it to the bare minimal, let's say, and using some interesting shapes, you know. So I guess like the center of the focus will be like the boats, of course, right? They are like in your front, in the front view. So you can start with that, like being really lightly, as if I was sketching almost with a pencil. This pen, it's already almost failing me, but that's good enough, because for this type of work that's perfect. So it kinda feels like a pencil, really. Doesn't put that much ink. So we have already one boat. And then we have like the following ones, but we are going to just put this, use like just two boats, right? And do them like really close to each other, okay? As if they were like overlapping. Right? So you already have here the boats. And now we can resume towards the peninsula in the back, and we see that we have here the horizon line. It's way up here. peninsula eventually just comes around. Something like this, and then something a little higher. Something like this. Right, we already have like right. Now we can go towards here the sea. It's a little bit more elongated. I'm using a lot of like these diamond shapes, let's say. I don't know how to call them properly, because it's a shape that I really enjoy. I used it a lot on my tattoo work actually. Right, you have here the sand, the sea, the boats, the mountain, and then you are going towards the sky. Something like this. Okay. Now we can go with a more heavy pen. Some larger one. Something like this. Right. Yeah. So we already have here some shapes. What we can do now is try to add a little bit of detail with a finer line. Alright. You can add it a little more as well. Yeah, something like this. Also here, as it's like the darker side. Right. That feels somewhat, I guess, at least interesting for me. So, now, going to pick up our markers. And I'll guess I'll be using this green, some brownish, can have this one as well. Now for the water, some this, this, and this, and the scent. And for this one, and can be this one as well. So I guess we have everything here. Now, time to color them. Going to use this watercolor markers. So you can start here. I don't know, for the sky. Can start with the sky. Putting here a good amount of ink. It just put a lot of water right on top of this. Way more than I would like, but okay. That's the problem when using this type of markers, honestly. So, we are going to avoid right now the sea and the mountain, just because, so we don't make contact with this top part. Just going right now for the sand. Just trying to stretch here this yellow. Right. Now, I don't know. We could go here for the mountains. Yeah, let's go. So here on these mountains, you have like a little part here where is a little green due to the vegetation, and then some browns. So I'm going here with a heavy, like this is deep sepia. Going over with some brown on top, just to create some sense of gradient. And up here we can put our green, just to establish some vegetation, I guess. Just trying to dissolve this sepia, it's really dark. Just trying to lighten up a little bit more. Hey there, cats. Just trying out different stuff, you know. Today it's like I'm just trying like a different approach, you know. Hey, copy. I'm just trying to, you know, like that kind of I don't know if you know, like the flat minimal illustration vibe, you know. I'm just trying out to see how it would look, you know, using that for like the urban sketching thing, you know, just trying out to figure out some stuff like really in a minimal in a minimalistic most minimalistic possible approach, you know. just resuming it to just shapes, just simple shapes, and yeah, and just, well, trying out, you know, just figuring out how it would look. Nothing more. Now for the C, you can have a little more dark lip here. Well, right. So we already have like a lot of stuff here done, or at least on the background, right? We are going to start doing the foreground, and in this specific case we have like a boat which is mainly blue and white. So just go here with a darker blue. Now just trying to pick up trying to dissolve a little more. How do you guys find this type of style? Do you guys like it? From Pinterest? Yeah, like this type of style is usually made in digitally, you know, like in Illustrator, that type of stuff, you know. And I also do like this style, you know, I do like this type of style. However, I was thinking, what if I was just trying to do like this style, but bringing it to the urban sketching thing, you know, and instead of doing it digitally, just trying to do it manually, you know. Yeah, for sure. Like a store logo. Yeah, because that's why, you know. Because like a lot of this stuff is used like in a more graphic style, you know. Um, that's why usually this type of stuff works in that way, like as a logo or whatever, you know. But like I just try to implement here something that's it's giving vacation vibes. I just try to implement here something more like close to me, you know. First, I try to use well, first I use like water-based markers, you know, because most of this type of style, since it's used in digitally, they you have like opaque colors, you know, usually. It's like just one or two tones per color and that's it. And here I just brought some gradients, more organic gradients, right? And another thing, it's most likely like the shapes, you know, used. I use a lot of this, like the shapes you see like here on the background. I use it a lot on my tattoo work, you know, actually. Um, and I just thought like it could be a cool, well, you know, a cool thing to work on, you know. And then I'll just try out here some highlights with a marker just to see how it would look. Yeah. Hey there. Good markers for painting that don't dissolve in water. Well, uh, well, thank you very much, Philip. Oh, nice. Yeah, stippling without the machine, it's way harder than with the machine. So congrats to you. Congrats on your patience. About the markers. Well, these ones are water-based markers, okay? I don't know if you saw, but I used water-based markers. They are like these ones are from Lyra. And I used a brush, a water brush, you know, just to spread the color. However, if you want markers that don't dissolve with water, you just have like the acrylic ones, you know. But the acrylic ones, they are like opaque, you know. You can properly work in this type of more organic gradients, you know. You can make gradients with them, but they are really much more limited regarding that kind of style, you know. They are more used to do like a well a more well, yeah, a more opaque and layer based style, you know. If you are looking for brands like on acrylic markers, I would suggest you have like on a entry level you have the Ohuhu. It's fairly cheap, but these ones from ARRTX, they are a bit more expensive, but it's worth it. Like the coverage each is way better than the Ohuhu ones, you know. You just don't need to go over and over and over just to have like a solid coverage. Just giving here some highlights. something like this. And where are you in the world, Philip? Just going to go over a little bit more just to have like those highlights to pop more. Yeah, I like it. I kind of like it. We can do like, well, at least we can do something here, for example. This would be the water-based and then we can go here with the down here with acrylic ones just to feel like the difference between them. Well, not the difference, obviously it's they are different, but to feel like how the result, how it would impact the look of both techniques, you know, doing this with acrylic markers or water-based ones. I kind of like these water-based ones. They are more, yeah, I guess they feel more like organic, you know. That's more my kind of preference. So, trying to okay. Yeah, there's no problem using drawing from imagination, of course. Well, for example, these pens that I have here, they are waterproof. Okay, these are Sakura Micron, like they are different sizes. However, if you like this one, it's the Pigma graphic. This here. It says ink for waterproof and fade-proof fine lines. Okay. However, this is a little thicker, you know, than this one. So if you just draw something with this thicker pen, eventually what will happen, and if you don't let it dry fully, if you go over with water, eventually it will smear. Yeah, that's for sure. You have to wait a little bit more to dry because it's pouring much more ink, right, than this one that's like a 005 fine liner, you know. So it all depends on the thickness of your line, and if you have like thicker lines, then you'll have to wait a little bit more for it to fully dry, and then use the water or whatever medium you are going to use. From Che, nice, nice, nice. That's cool. I'm sorry, wait just a moment, please. I have here a call. See? I'm sorry. So where were we going? Let's go then for the the other sketch using the acrylic ones. Can use the same reference just to look really if what type of markers would work better with this. Trying here to make as close as possible. Okay, now we have here the C. Alright, so we have here already the sketch. Now we go over with a larger pen. So the sketch here was done with a 005 pen, and now I'm going to outline it with a 05 only, right? So it's a larger, thicker tip. Creative Canvas, thank you very much for the sub. Hey there, Luis, how are you? Hey Kazma. Hey, thank you very much. Well, honestly, this one I tried to emulate the first because I'm using this one. I used water-based markers, and here I'll be using acrylic ones. Okay. So you are, yeah, so this one is also a 005, okay, where I did a sketch. And now this one, where I'm putting like the larger, thicker lines, is just a 0.5, okay. Well, actually this sketchbook, it's like a 220 GSM. It's not perfect for watercolor, but it's also not like usual copy paper, you know. Like if I'm worried about using watercolor, I would be using more likely a 300 GSM. Okay. Just adding here some details as we did on the above. Alright, so now we can head into our acrylic ones. Okay. So let's bring this here. And we can start You can start here with the sky. These acrylic markers will definitely cover some part of the line work, but there's no problem at all, because then we can, after everything dries, you can just go over and outline it again. Right. Oh yeah, I wasn't going to use this. I was going to use a lighter one. Okay, forget about it. Let's continue. I really thought, I was looking at this and I was thinking, well, this is way too dark, and I was right. So we are going to let it dry a little bit more here, and then go over with a lighter tone. Okay. Now, for the sand, here I'm not, I don't want to make really like smooth. Hello Rohit, how are you? I don't want to make some like smooth gradients. Really, here I just the difference in tones will be really marked, you know. can go here with an orange. Right? Something like this, okay? Some more pronounced Hey there, Ru. Everyone says that this looks like a logo. So, long story short, okay, just to resume everything. I kind of like a lot a specific style of illustration. It's like it's called like a minimal flat illustration. Okay, I can show you here. Let me bring. Where is it? Okay. Oops, sorry. Let me just adjust here quickly. Okay. So. Why I'm not able to show this? Okay, now you know, this type of style, I really like this type of style, but this is usually done with within Illustrator, you know, within or Illustrator or any other vector softwares. And I was thinking, well, why not to try to do this type of style in a manual way, you know, and apply it to these like urban sketching scenes, you know, just wandering around, and all this type of stuff, like this type of stuff, like just trying to simplify the shapes at almost like a bare minimum, you know, and use them to applying them to this type of style, you know, like this type of illustration, you know. And yeah, yeah, let's see then. So I just did like this first one using water-based markers, okay. Now here we are going for the acrylic ones. So let's see. Going over here with the lightest tone because I really wanted this to be really light, and I just missed the marker. Now it's better. Now, here for the mountains, let's say. Let me see. This one is 566. Yeah, I can have this one. And some browns. 604. Yeah, this one. And 610. Yeah, I really like this marker, you know. This one, I really like the color. I don't know why, but I really enjoy it. So, for now, just going here with a slightly shade of green, just to get some vibes of vegetation, you know. Hey, too much. Sorry, guys. I missed a little bit the chat. What's happening, Jay? Yeah, this is a different approach, you know, to urban sketching with a more flat, minimal look to it, you know. Just trying out new things as usual. So here I'll be losing some of these outlines, but not worried, because then after we finish painting it, we can also go back and bring some of these outlines again. Oops, this is all right. Now I need a darker one. 650. This one. Right. So here, as I said, there's no gradients, there's just plain color. All right. Sorry, what? What type of, what pin that I showed earlier? I just showed, well, here I showed some examples for you to kind of more or less understand what I was saying about, you know. They are just, well, some examples, you know. Nothing more. What? The one without the outline? Which one? Like these? Without the outlines? Like these ones? Oh, no, 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 no. No. No, sorry. Uh, I was just showing them just so you could understand more or less like the vibe that I'm trying to go for, you know, with this. It's not like I'm not doing that specifically, you know, just to show what type of drawing I was doing, you know. Sorry to mislead you. So here, but I guess it would be somewhat interesting as well. I don't know, but it could be interesting to try to do one without. What did I say about Pinterest? No, I was just saying that the things that I showed here on Pinterest, this type of stuff, um, they were just like how can I say this? They were just like examples, you know, so you guys could figure out well more quickly what I was trying to do, you know. But I guess it could be interesting as well, doing this with no lines as well. I guess it could be, well, it could work out as well. I don't know. Trying to have here more or less the same vibe as the one above, right? Using more or less the same colors. Alright, something like this, I guess. Now we can go even with a darker one just here on the sky only. Yeah, and that's it. Now, my Pinterest account, I don't have anything there, honestly, you know. I just have like, I only use Pinterest for my tattoo work, you know. And the only thing I do have there, it's unfortunately like the stuff that people send me, you know. Some of the boring stuff people send me to copy to the tattoo work, you know. I usually don't use, well, how can I say this? I do use Pinterest, but unfortunately not to create nice curated curated boards, you know. It's just like to do like to search for the tattoos and whatnot. Yeah. A lot of people send me stuff from Pinterest to tattoo, so yeah. Now, can go here with a also the white marker. Trying to do the same as the one before, the one here on top, you know. Right. Yeah, something like this. Yeah, mainly. And it's not and it's like that type of stuff that doesn't even interests me, you know. Because usually when people send me stuff for from or for Pinterest, you know, it's those type of stuff that I already know. Okay, it's like copy paste work, you know. Okay. You are reaching somewhere here. No, you can just re-outline, you know. You do? Well, I guess it's at least it's better than doom scrolling on TikTok or Instagram. I don't know. So reapplying here the outlines. Because since we are using acrylic markers, that goes over the black really easily. Because like these pens are waterproof, but the acrylic markers, they just sit on top of the ink, and yeah. Thank you, Copy. Right. Yeah, exactly. that's exactly the purpose. We're doing that flat illustration look, but yeah, manually. Right, now just for the boats. I don't know if this would ask for a larger or thicker outline, but well, I'm using the same one that I used above. And now with a thinner pen, just adding here some touches. Right. So this is acrylic. So what do you think, guys? What do you guys actually prefer, like the bottom one or the top one? I'm saying like in terms of like they obviously they are not exact, you know. It was done both by hand, so they are not exactly the same, of course. There's some tweaks here and there, but in terms of rendering and of coloring, what do you guys prefer? The water-based one, Ru? Okay. Yeah, like in terms of sketch, this one is more compact, right? It's more. This one is a little bit more elongated, right? I just try to fix that during this one. Yeah, so here, honestly, in my opinion, um, it's like a mixed feelings here, honestly, because in terms of the process, you know, I rather prefer the water-based ones, you know. I enjoy much more painting with this and then like using water to dilute it. However, in a final look, I tend to like more this one, you know, because this kind of resembles more like this kind of looks more like into those like yeah, those opaque illustrations, right? Those flat opaque illustrations. I'm a bit turned I don't know really for what type of stuff would I choose. As I said, look, so I like them both, honestly. But it's like the difference. It's just like between the process and the end result, you know. Let me see here if I do have more photos that I didn't cover yet. Well, honestly, Ru, I don't have here a I don't have here a favorite, if you know, because like I really enjoy. I love to use like these watercolor and watercolor markers, you know, and the process of using them, it's really cool. I really enjoy that, you know. It's fun. It's way more fun than using acrylics. Way more fun, at least for me. Let's say, you know, it's way more fun than using acrylics. However, the acrylics, even though it's more like painting by numbers, let's say, right? Because you are just feeling everything neat, and I don't like that much. Um, I like the end result, you know. I like the final result. So, yeah, a little bit. I don't know honestly where I would. But well, it is what it is. So let me try here to bring another photo. Honestly, here I'm just working some potential, you know, and how I would deal with this type of technique, because I honestly don't know how to apply this properly. Yeah, I have here, well, I have here a quite somewhat difficult one for this stuff, for sure. Let me just bring it. Uh, 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 uh. Okay, so this is actually a somewhat difficult one, at least for me. The image itself, it's not that interesting. But I just took this image. I don't know why. I guess it was, honestly, I guess it was just the electrical wires, you know, the electrical cables that I felt interesting just to going across the street. Because the image itself, it doesn't have that much interest overall. But well, let's try to do something with this. Okay. So applying like this concept, let's say, I would look first like to fairly simple shapes, right? And at least like and here, at least with the buildings, they are fairly easy to acknowledge, right? The shapes, at least. So, and we have here a perspective. We can respect it, like the perspective. somewhat something like this can go more or less. And you'll have here the building, at least until here, and here the street. Yeah, okay. And around here you'll have the next building. The rings on the wall, on the white wall, the white building, I don't know, it's I guess it's something like really ornamental, you know. They could be, since like since this town it's more like it's more devoted to fishermen, you know. It can be like a decorative element on the building. I don't know, resembling like the windows like on the ships, you know. I guess I'm guessing. I don't know. But if I was to guess, eventually it would be like my go-to. So and you have here as well like a little breakthrough until here. That's where it starts, the other house, right? Just going all the way up. And we have here also a traffic sign. So this little shape here will be symbolizing that wooden flooring, you know. And then the rest here on the street. We can go with, I don't know, hey there, Rohit. I don't know why, you know, because this thing kind of this is part of the building, you know. I don't think so. I don't think that this is like a logo or some sort. This, I guess this is really part of the building. I'm good, thank you. How are you? And here with this shape you just get here the street. Now let's see how we will end up with the building. I'm postponing a little bit on doing the actual building because I really don't know how I'll do it. Well, yeah, it could be. I don't know. It's an odd shape for sure. But the thing that if if anyone asked me and I just looked at it, I was just going into the decorative, pure decorative element, you know. Don't know why, but it's like my guess. Yeah, Rohit. I don't know. Probably, don't know. It kind of gives like a good look. I don't know. I like it actually. So the problem here, I don't know how I'm going to do the building here, you know, because I don't want to crop it as the photo is, you know, but I also don't want to do like the whole building, of course, and it won't fit here, and I don't want to just imagine how it will be like on the top of it, you know. So let's see, what can we do here? We can follow perspective. Yeah. Yeah, copy. That's why I'm like wondering. This is like real time process thinking, you know. I guess it's not the most entertaining thing on a live stream, but yeah, it's like me on the I'm just considering what to do. Okay, I'll just try to do like a somewhat mini house. I don't know. Coloring a map with rice. Okay. But like the rice, it's like colored. It has different colors. Or are you painting the rice? Oh, okay. Okay, just decided to do like a fantasy building all the way up. Now we can like overdo here the sun. Be aware that I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I'm just winging it, you know? Yeah, but if you do have your final result, Luis, you can post it on the community tab on on my channel. It's not a perfect circle, and you can see here that I did a lot of turns, you know. There's like a really simple exercise if you want to practice circles, right? And you just need to go like in a piece of paper, just like going over, you know. Obviously, if you are using pencil, it's better, you know, because then you can erase, you can choose what lines you are using. But this is actually how I end up doing my circles, you know, just going for kind of a lot of lines and then applying some force into the ones that I feel, you know. So right. It's nature occupied. All right. Well, it's, yeah, it's buildings. Yeah, I guess it's buildings. It's a little bit trickier, at least for me. It's trickier. And now making the door really thin. Yeah, okay. That's a nice training as well. Yeah. Since I just want I like to make stuff a little bit more loose, you know. I just go over, you know, with with usually a pencil and just go over doing some like 3 or 4 circles, more or less. And then I just apply some force where the lines look better, you know. Now, what do we have more here? So here it's dealt with. Now here we can use those rings there, because it's definitely a point of interest. Enough point of interest for us to be talking about them. Right. This one needs to be a little bit bigger. All right. About geometry. Well, I actually had, since I was like in arts, right? I actually had some like geometry. I have a lot of, well, I have 3 years of only geometry, you know, a class that was only geometry. And I kind of struggled a lot in the beginning, because I wasn't able to see like in a more abstract way, you know, the dots and the dots, the lines, the shapes on space, you know, on the abstract, you know, because you are dealing with the X, Y, and Z axis, right? And I wasn't able to do that. Then I went into some kind of a, well, a tutor, let's say. And like in the first lesson, yeah, in the first lesson, it just unblocked everything for me, you know. It, eventually there's some things that if teached like in the right way, you know, that will just unblock everything, you know. And it was enough, like one lesson was enough for me to just understand what was all about, you know. Usually it's like something really small that it's like impeding you for going forward. Oh really? Nice. Nice cats. Yeah, that like, but when I was talking about geometry, like it was just really applied into more like into like an architecture point of view, you know. That's why we had it in a art high school, you know. No, I'm a bit worried. I don't know if I'll just do here some windows or not. I guess it will be too much. But it has some indentation here that I can use it. Those balconies up front, I can definitely use them. Yeah, something like this. Of course, Rohit. Of course. We could definitely meet. Okay, let's start to ink this. Interview me? Why? No. Guys, you guys just exaggerate a huge amount. Hey there. Yeah, freehanding. Not even close, guys. Well, I guess the only thing that I can share, let's say, with Leonardo, it's like the curiosity, you know? That's the only thing that I guess I can share with him. Right. You guys exaggerate a huge amount, guys. Right. Okay, yeah, Renee Magritte. It's a beautiful painter as well, yeah. Yeah, Bruegel as well. So, yeah, I was finishing, but I'm not finished yet. So, what do you guys think? Should I use acrylics? Or water-based ones? Yeah, cats is here. So acrylics or watercolors, acrylic or water-based markers. What should I use? Oh, really? That smells like the painting? Okay, so we have here a division. One vote for acrylic, one for water-based. Please help out here. Yeah, I'm going to use markers, but acrylics or water-based markers. These are water-based, these are acrylics. Basically, just to, if you like prefer like this or this, which one? Yeah, Rohit, but what type of markers? That's what I'm talking about. So uh, we have two for acrylics. Luis and Ru went for acrylics, and Cats for water base. Let's go for acrylics then. Let's go with acrylics. Can start here. With this. Yeah, too late. Now I just got into the acrylics. All right. Showering paintings. You did enjoy the watercolor paintings. Rohit, if you want, share your stuff there on the community tab, so we can see the your progress. You know. Actually, I'm not that much like of a map guy, you know. But as soon as you said you are using rice, I became a little more intrigued with that, you know. Just going over just to have a better coverage, because when you are using these like lighter markers, it's a little bit trickier to have a nice and decent coverage overall. There we have some blue. And some brown. Where is the brown? Yeah. You just share it? Let me just check it out. Let me just check really quickly. Where is it? Here, community. Okay. All right. Nice, 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 nice. That's interesting. For sure. I'm just coloring everything. And now after I'll just go with I'll just go with a white marker to do some highlights here and there. Hey there, John. How are you? So, let's keep going. Here I'm going to use some that color on the bricks. It's slightly yellowish. This is way too bright. I guess I'll go with really the yellow. Yeah. Well, copy. Just seeing how it's looking. Let's see if we manage to do something more or less interesting at least. let's get going. Ja, thank you, man. No need for all that, really. I don't want to use properly black. I don't know. Well, guys, if you eventually come here around Portugal, I'll be more than happy then to be with you, you know. So if you actually come here around my city or something like that, I would be more than pleased to do it, you know. So now let me just check this here. Where is it? Yeah, so first let me see if I if I'll be able to get into the YouTube partner program, you know. That would be the first thing to actually do something, but it's not getting easier, you know. Actually, I don't know why, but I can tell you that when I started doing these live streams, I had like a huge amount of views, but like an absurd amount of views. However, the retention wasn't that great, you know. But now it's like the opposite. I have like a nice retention, thanks to you guys, of course. But really, but not that many views, you know. So, where is the it's here. Didn't really like this. An artist. Yeah, wouldn't call that. Thank you for being here. Thank you very much, John. Have a nice day. Sorry? This one? Yeah, I didn't like it at all, you know. I'm sorry. But I really didn't like how it was working. Yeah, I'm going to wait a little bit more. Going here with a thinner one. Well, the gas prices has been absurd. That's one through. You did? Yeah, right now, like, it has been like almost every day there's new stories, right? On these absurd in this absurdity. Já. Bye, John. No, but things has been like absolutely insane right now. It's absurd how things are going. Are really absurd. Speaking in quotes. Feel free to speak whatever you want, Ru, honestly. I don't know if I'm liking this pattern, honestly. honestly don't know really if I like it. So let me just now outline it everything. Just rearrange everything here, so just to give some time for the colors to just sink in and dry a little bit. I'm just watching you guys talk. You're just giving me like a slightly different perspective on what's happening, you know, in the world. You're liking it, Luis? trumpet. I like the quotes. Yeah, no problem, Wish. Yeah, and the live will end like as soon as I finish outlining it. It's already like a long live stream today. But thank you for being here, Luis. And if not, see you tomorrow. Well, yeah, I guess that's it. So, I have a little bit of mixed feelings about this. I don't know why, but some parts I like it, others not that much. No problem, Drew. You are free to talk wherever you guys like. It's a free chat, so feel free to do that. So, but however, and saying this, I guess I'll also be going. My opinion? Honestly, I don't have like a... Well, it's a shit show, right? Overall. I don't know honestly what will happen because unlike other types of conflicts that already happened before, this one it's slightly different because there's a completely unstable person at a table. However, I really think that China is going to how can I say this? To try to take control a little bit more on this whole thing, you know. And with that, the U.S. can't deal with that, you know. They can't deal with China. And yeah, I guess that's something that eventually when China decides to enter into the conflict, the other ones will have to just obey, you know. So if the US can't handle Iran, you know, will they handle China? No way, you know. Yeah, 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 for sure. For sure. I guess we are watching like a shift in power and like world domination, like in on world dominance, you know. A really significant shift. Yeah, 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 for sure. And if we are not talking about more complicated stuff like the nuclear solutions, like China has way more uh, army and like have way more everything than the US. So I don't think so, Ru. I honestly don't think so. I think that like the US will just lay down their heads and just and go over, you know, and it's over, you know. They don't have the fight power to go against China, I guess. And they would be stupid if they try to. Oh, well, not stupid. It will be like a completely different level of stupidity if they would go against them. Yeah, what I think that will happen, honestly, it's like in a matter of days eventually. It will be like Trump will be like impeached or something like that, and the government will fall, you know, just to prevent something more catastrophic, you know. That's what I think that will happen in the US. Because like already a lot of countries are working together to try to avoid the having to deal with the US, and that's bad for their economy, right? And honestly, right now, like of course Trump doesn't rule anything, right? Because there's other like there's those powerful people around that actually rule America, right? Um, and as soon as they figure that America will start to lose big time, I guess they'll try to pull the strings to get off uh, with Trump and try to solve things in a more um sympathetic way, you know. Yeah, for sure. Trumpet. Yeah. But yeah, guys. So thank you very much for being here with me. I'm sorry to interrupt here the conversation, but I'm really hungry and I have to eat something. I'll have to leave here the live stream, and yeah, tomorrow we'll have another one. Okay, so thank you very much and see you tomorrow. Okay, cheers, bye bye guys, see you. Thank you, Gopi. Thank you guys, see you tomorrow, have a nice day, bye bye. You are free to chat or talk whatever here on the, at least here on my channel, you are free to do